So YouTube, let me take a second. So YouTube, I felt weird posting my next video without like a proper follow-up to yesterday's video. It's Tuesday, right? Yes, it's definitely Tuesday. I lose track of the days of the week. I feel so like blessed for the amount of support that poured out through that video, and it was a rough day because I tried to shoot a video where I wasn't breaking down into tears, and I was unable to avoid it, and so it happened anyway, and I gave up and I published as is, or at least what I could paste together that seemed somewhat coherent, that was telling the story. But in light of that, I want to tell another story. When I was in high school, this is about the whole crying thing. When I was in high school, I nearly failed the 9th grade because I did not want to go to school. I didn't want to be harassed and bullied and feel, shut out. Like most teenagers don't want that. They want to fit in, and be one of the I don't want to say like one of the cool kids, like something out of like a Disney movie or like something like that. It wasn't like that. You want to fit in. You want to have a group. And I never had a group. I went through all of high school never having a group, never really having like those close friends that you hang out with or like you share stuff with or you share things in common with. I was always the odd man out. And 9th grade was really hard. It was my first year senior high school, and I reached the point where I wouldn't go to school, and my mom didn't know what to do. Punishing me wasn't working. She could see that I was hurting, and she loved me. She didn't know what to do. She tried tough love, and her tough love, wasn't really, because it wasn't like I was never a bad student. I was always a fairly good student, and all those things. But long story short, she finally was like, okay, we got to get you into another school. But she couldn't really afford to like send me to a school where she'd have to pay for it or anything like that. And so she tried to get me into a school in another district, and they said there's no reason for her to transfer. I'm sorry, she has to go back to that school. And that night I bawled my eyes out, and my mom was like so afraid. She didn't know what she was going to do. She did not want to send me to school if it was going to be torture for me. And after I bawled my eyes out, like the little crybaby I can be, I walked downstairs and I said, "Mom, it's okay." And then I went to school for the next 3 years, and I even made up 9th grade and graduated on time, by going to Saturday school and summer school. And I actually met some people that were pretty cool. Like, I didn't develop any long-term friends, but I met some people who were fairly cool, having had to go through that. But, like, I made up 9th grade, and I graduated on time. And there was a girl who kind of took pity on me, and she told me that I could, like, walk with her. But it never really felt like this natural, like, friendship. It was more like, okay, I feel sorry for you, so, like, I'll be your friend. But it wasn't really this natural, like, friendship that developed in a way of like, we have stuff in common and we like to hang out. Like, it wasn't like that. It was more like, hey, so you're not walking to school. She was super nice, but it was more like, so you don't have to walk to school alone, you can walk to school with me, type thing. And so, like, it went fine. But the point is, like, I bawled my eyes out. I realized there was literally nothing I could do about it. And, if I wanted to graduate high school, I had to go back to that school. And so I did. And so by the time I'm finished bawling my eyes out, I'm done and I'm ready to move forward. I was mad at myself. And so there was all this anger at myself for something I recognized was happening, because I never stopped tracking in my Fitness Pal. I tracked every calorie I knew darn well I shouldn't have been eating. I tracked every food I knew darn well I wasn't supposed to be eating. And I saw those negatives adding up in my FitnessPal, and all the ways I was going over, and I still couldn't stop myself. I think there was a lot running through my head while I was in Maryland. I still have guilt about leaving before I got to connect with some people, most specifically any family members on my mother's side. I feel guilty about not going to my mother's grave before I left Maryland. But I feel like I could come back next summer and just do that. There won't be all this pressure to also get rid of the storage unit in a certain timeline and get back to California before it gets to be winter and all this other stuff. And all that other stuff, all of that was going on in my head. So it wasn't even vacation fun. It was, I'm in Maryland, which I haven't been in for 3 years. I want to connect with people. I'm not even sure what some people's contact information is anymore. I don't want to seem like I came and left without even making the attempt. And I feel like it might come off that way to some people. And there was also this very real storage unit that I needed to get rid of. And so a lot of things just started piling up. And I was trying to find a balance between, I haven't been to Baltimore or the Baltimore area, in 3 years, and sort of wanting to see even what was there to reconnect with, on top of the actual real timeline of getting rid of this storage unit. And I think it just all piled up on me to a point where I just stopped caring inch by inch. But not in the grand scheme of things, I didn't stop caring. But in these small ways, it just became so unimportant. But it had to have stayed important, or I would have stopped tracking. And I literally never stopped tracking. Every bad calorie I ate is in my FitnessPal. There's weeks of negatives where I went way into the negatives on the MyFitnessPal app. But another thing that this has shown me is I was doing the exact right thing from April until September. Up until all that stress piled up on me in October, I was doing the exact right thing. If you look at sort of what the chart looks like of weight loss from April to around September-ish, I wasn't going to be anybody's runway model, but the trend was down. There were very few minute little peaks of a pound or two here and there, but the entire trend up until that point was down, which means I was eating the right things, and it's good to feel like that's confirmed. Yes, I do need exercise and diet to balance out, and I really do like my fitness programs. I do not like just having a list and going off blind and doing this undirected thing. I love sort of the put on the program, hit play, and then it's just a follow the leader for 20, 30, 40, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever. I love the follow the leader aspect of the video programs. And that's why I do them. I do them because I like them. I feel like people feel like they need to give me something I'll like. I do like them. I don't always have the ability to walk. I mean, more than getting out the van, walking around, a rest stop or something like that. But I don't really have the ability to hike every day. I like hiking, but I'm not really in a place to, I'm in a rest area right now. It looks really cool. I'm in some scenic forest, but I'm in a rest area right now. So I don't have the ability to hike every day. I bought this bike and I haven't really been in a place to ride the stupid bike. I've ridden it maybe 3 times. So I have this cool folding bike in the back of my van that I don't have access to an area where it's safe or fun to even ride it. And the point of those things is those are fun events, and so I don't want to be riding around a rest stop afraid that a truck's going to run me over. Like, I'm just not in a place where I have access to places where I can, like, bike casually. Right now, I am in a very specific mood of going across the country. And the thing I will do is pull out that video program, hit play, do my cardio. Oops, I made a mistake. I forgot to hit the stop button on my watch. Do my cardio and, get my heart rate up, lift some weights, do some crunches. And the video is the way I will do it. Without the video, it's not going to happen. And so it's not a torturous thing, and it's not a thing I need to eliminate. It's a matter of changing what videos that I'm doing. And like, I feel like the good thing is I know that I'm doing the right things, because when I was super focused from April to September, the trend was down. It wasn't fast. It wasn't melting off like nobody's business, but it doesn't need to. Like, I'm not, there's a part of me that wants to impress the internet. There's a part of me deep down in myself that wants to impress the internet. But if I'm focusing on just impressing Dawn and not the internet, I see the trend down. And so that's a good thing. And so, like, yes, while I was mad at myself for things I know that I did. And more importantly, things I know I can fix. So yes, I am okay. I'm 100% focused. My birthday was actually the day I just stopped. And it's weird. Like, that's what I did. I just stopped. I just went back on plan. I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, the fact that I weighed myself is because I knew the thing I knew, and I needed to discover that information to sort of have even the motivation to get back on plan. Which puts me in a place of like questioning how often I should weigh myself, because it was weighing myself that helped me get refocused. And I know people were like, don't weigh yourself. Yes, it's okay for me to go through that stress and go through that cry and then come out the other end and go, I needed that information so that it was confirmation and I knew I wasn't crazy about what I felt was happening. Now, I was right on point. It was exactly what I expected. What I would have been surprised of, considering what I knew I'd done, is if I had not gained weight. If I had maintained or lost, I would have been shocked. I was not shocked by gaining. I was just disappointed in myself and mad at myself for something that was completely my fault. And I know there are reasons for it, and what I need to focus on really is stress management. This isn't needing to change the exercise, and I don't even think it's needing to change the diet. I mean, obviously, diet, I hate that word. I need to not do what I did this past month. Duh. But I already knew that I shouldn't have been doing what I did this past month. What probably I need more than anything is something I can't really afford, because I think there's a lot more issues buried in therapy. I'm just going to flat out admit it. More issues buried in therapy than, it's getting dark, so I need to wrap this up, than there is in the eating plan or what I'm doing for exercise. Like, those are not really the problems. The problem is something that's going on, in my head. You can't see my hands anymore, I don't think. I don't know how clear this will come out. But it's definitely something that's going on mentally. It's something that's going on emotionally. And what I really think I need most of all is just better coping mechanisms, All right, I'm just going to put this video up as is. I'm not going to do a whole lot of editing to it, and I'm going to move forward. But I didn't think talking about this could wait another week for a health and fitness check-in, so I just wanted to address it now.